All right, so not to worry, everybody. We are coming. We are going live. I just got a message here from Brent that he's having some internet issues today. I don't know. Maybe it's just a Friday thing. The internet got excited for the weekend, and it's deciding to be difficult right now. But apparently, Brent is on his way, and we gonna get this show on the road. We've got a, so we've got, today we've got like a collection of questions that people have been asking us. And so we're going to go through, because there's some really interesting, just different interesting questions. So we're going to get into those and really hope to answer some useful stuff. And I'm really just trying to come up with some clever banter right now, just to keep this going and buy myself some time until Brent shows up. So what I thought I would do is I thought I would highlight this book. I don't know if it's showing up backwards for you. It's backwards for me, but hopefully it looks normal to you. Book Attract from Anders Pone. I just got this in the mail today. Amazon delivered it. Check out this. Check out that author photo. That's this guy means serious business. Anyway, so I just hold up. Do we have Brent?
Yeah, keep on going. I'm getting there.
There's Brent. I've been filibustering, trying to fill up time.
Keep filibustering, man. I have to. I'm like on. I'm using my hotspot data, so this is going to be a big test to see if freedom is worth it. So keep going. Don't stop.
Some internet issues. Looks like some camera issues, some lighting issues. It's but it's okay because we've got Attract, and so it's all about. This is all about how to be magnetic and really to put your best foot forward and really to showcase and highlight your brand.
Yes. Listen, Maggie's not joining us today. And what happens? It just all like the internet goes down. Like I am, it's all happening now. All right. And I need you to share we're not even doing the checklist. We have an entire checklist. Can you let me share my screen? We got something brand new today. Yes. Hi, everybody out there. Listen, this is going to be a great show. It's going to be like a real choppy takeoff. Like we're zooming back and forth and the pilot's just saying, it's quite all right, everybody. All right.
I maintain that it's authentic.
So I actually have internet now? Okay, we're just going to go with this thing because I don't want to reset up. Yes, we're authentic. That's it. Thank goodness for people like saying we want authenticity, because now every time you kind of do subpar stuff, it's like, yeah, but I'm authentic. This is the real me.
I'm just so authentic.
Lower the bar and then zoom over it. Okay, so get ready for this one. This is something else.
And good news, I've got some tea.
Nice.
Hello.
All right, we are live with Kill the Guru, a marketing show, episode number 5. That's right, Kill the Guru, where we stop the action. We don't stop the action. We start the action, and we stop the consumption. We, Brent and Arthur, gurus of marketing, dish out some advice real time to our small business guests. They go away, they come back and do it, and let us know, well, what worked and what didn't, what was gold and what was BS for them. And in doing so, they become their own gurus. That's the concept. I'm Brent Kobayashi, president of Kobayashi Zeitguys, a marketing agency here in Toronto, Canada. Small, fine print right now. And with me is Mr. Arthur Tutt, a marketing specialist at the KZ.
Are we going again?
Oh, is it repeating, man? Of course.
Kill the guru.
So this is. Let me just pause that. This is the first time
I've got shivers right now.
Isn't that awesome? Okay, so This is from the wonderful, esteemed Mr. David Blackmore. I was like, can you give us an intro? He gave us a couple options. I started to listen to one and I was just like, I don't want to hear this right now. I want to just go live with it. That was the first time I heard that one. And
So we're going live with it.
Of course, that's what we do with Kill the Guru. You just take action, see how it turns out, learn, repeat, rinse, grow, make things happen. That's the whole concept. So that's where that came in. So today we actually don't have an entrepreneur on because I don't know, we don't have an entrepreneur on, but what we're going to do is we're going to take some questions and answers from our Kill the Guru Facebook group.
It's disappointing. Nobody wanted to come on here and kill us.
Yes. But if you're watching and you want on, like, just let us know. Sue, dude, come on. Hey, listen, you should come on, Sue.
I think Sue would be great to have on.
The problem is she's like a guru that needs to be killed, but we could dish out some stuff. Oh, are we smorgasbording today? Oh, geez, for heaven's sake, our titles. Yeah. We didn't change our titles. All right. Hello, everybody. It's going to be one of those episodes. Lots of energy and lots of mistakes that we are going to celebrate.
Yes. Okay. Just to be clear to everybody, we are on top of our game.
We are on, well, yes.
Yes, the answer is yes.
Yes. Yes. So for those who are tuning in, either live or in the future, Arthur and I have taken this thing called Seeds Leadership. Phenomenal course, phenomenal personal growth thing. And one of the things that they talk about is celebrate your mistakes. Why?
Was that a question?
Yeah, that's a question. Why? Let's see if you know your seeds.
Is this a pop quiz?
Yep, this is a pop quiz. Why do you celebrate mistakes, Mr. Arthur Tutt?
Well, Mr. Brent, it's all about celebrating mistakes because in trying to do anything new in your life and trying to do anything kind of challenging, exciting, scary, you're not going to get it right the first time. Making mistakes is going to be part of that journey. And so if you're too afraid to make a mistake, like if you're too afraid to look foolish,
making mistakes suck. Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
But like if you're too afraid to make the mistake, then you'll be too afraid to do the things that you need to do to take the action to move forward and do the things that you want to do.
Yep.
And so we celebrate mistakes because it's a learning step in the direction you want to go.
100%. Thank you. Awesome explanation. Let's give Arthur a hand with that one. Listen, Arthur, I would also say that
do I get a prize for getting it right?
You get a book.
Amazon delivery is getting even just faster and faster these days. That was like that.
Yes, it was negative time. Yeah, I mean, one of the best ways to learn how to learn is to make a mistake, and then you learn. Oh, that didn't work. And so, if making mistakes really sucks, are you going to keep on learning? You're going to want to learn? You're going to want to do stuff that's going to result in mistakes? No, you're going to get a little bit more conservative, a little bit more conservative, a little bit more conservative, and then you're going to get mentally old, right? That's what that's what happens in our lives. You get kind of wound up as you see consequence after consequence after consequence, and you're like, okay, enough of this stuff. Whereas if you can be like, oh yeah, dude, made that mistake. That's totally awesome. And it feels good. Then you're going to like, yeah, I'm going to go in that direction, where the direction that I'm going to be able to make the most mistakes, because that will be so awesome. I'll love it. At least that's the thought process. Yeah.
Should we get into some questions?
Yes, let's get into the questions. All right. Where do you want to go with that?
All right. So we had some questions that were posted up in our Kill the Guru Facebook group. And just a quick mention. So for anybody who wants to join the group, this is like the exclusive group where you can come and join Kill the Guru. And really, like it's personal access to myself and Brent, where if you want to ask
the rest
questions
of the team,
on anything and the whole team, if you want to ask questions, it's like this is the place to do it. So check it out, Facebook Kill the Guru group.
Now, I'll also even go so far as to say, if you are a digital marketer, a marketer, an agency, or any if you do what we do, you're welcome in the group. Like both to ask questions, but also to answer questions. You can pick up some gigs. It's kind of a little bit of my philosophy that the people that I like to hang around with a lot are, and to support, are also people in my industry. And one, it feels good, right? Because, you know, you get to chat with peers and all that kind of stuff. Two, I believe in abundance. Anyways, there's so much opportunity out there that occasionally we might lose a gig or two, or somebody else might work with somebody else, but that's okay. But three, in my 25 years of experience, quite a number of times I have gained because of that philosophy. Meaning, the reason actually why we have Zeitguys right now, like we merged, like the two of us, Kobayashi and Zeitguys, were two separate companies and we're together, is because of this particular philosophy. Like early on in the relationship, I was like, these guys are great. And when opportunities came my way, every now and then I'd be like, hey guys, come on and let's do this opportunity together. Or even, we're good and there's a few other people, because people wanted to do some due diligence with us. And I would say, you should talk to Zeitguys as well. In other words, I sort of expanded our ocean that we were in. And then we got gigs, we got entire companies sometimes from that. Because if you think about it, who are the people who are most going after the clients that you want?
Your competition?
Yeah. Like my number one SEO technique ever was to be really in good books with the person that got ranked number one for WordPress development and stuff like that. We to this day still get referrals from that. Like literally, so if you look at your competition as competition, there's a barrier between you and them, and you're always trying to, like, sure, you can do that, but you're actually closing down so many more possibilities than you could gain. So much. So if you are in our space, don't think that Kill the Guru is our space, that everything has to come to us. Come on in, help people out, ask questions as well. We'll do agency chats in there if you want. If you pick up stuff, that's totally cool. Because I believe if we're in a relationship together, at some point I might, but you might decide, you know what? I actually don't want what I'm doing right now, or I don't want this portion of what I'm doing right now. Hey, Kobayashi Zeitguys, I kind of like you. And then that's one way that we've gained, at least in the past. Collaboration. Okay, sorry. So that's Kill the Guru. That's a little bit of a philosophy of abundance for you, is like just totally go to town with your competition and see how you can grow them and see what amazing things happen from that. You might lose a little bit in the short term. That's quite possible. But if you approach it with a total like, yeah, awesome, you'll gain in the long run. Well, let's put it this way. If you're doing your stuff, as in working on growth, working on connecting, working on all those things, if it's like just a one-off thing and you're very tightly focused, it might not work. Right? So you do want, it is a bit of a bigger philosophy. There are actions that you want to take. So any of you want to talk about that ever, just bring me up. Okay. So questions from the Kill the Guru group.
All right, so we got a first question here on reviews. Like I think everybody knows that getting reviews online, whether that's Google reviews, Facebook reviews, Yelp reviews, is a really positive thing to do. And so the question is, I'm writing up an email draft with Google and Facebook review links to send out to people. So the idea being making it really easy for the person to give a review just by clicking on a link. I figured out the Google, but having a hard time with the Facebook review link. Can you offer any help?
Okay. Okay, I feel like I needed to prep a little bit to get current on this one. So
I've
the
got
Facebook
something ready. I've got something ready, by the way, so I'm ready to jump in here.
Okay, you jump in, please. You do.
All right, I'm just going to share my screen. So with the Facebook review link, if you go to your business page, right, because the review is associated with the business page, from your business page, there'll be a tab here on the side called reviews, and that'll bring up a link here, which will just be your Facebook page /reviews, and you can send this to people, and they can leave you a review that way. Now, right now, because I am an admin on Kobayashi page, I'm not able to leave a review here. So what I thought I would do is just a real quick shout out to Cool Runnings for anybody who loves jerk chicken. Love this place, but I picked it just to give an example here. But again, their business page /reviews. And when I come to that page, there's the option here. Do you recommend Cool Runnings restaurant and bar? And that's where I could hit yes, and then type out an actual review.
Awesome.
So
Can you click yes for me right now? I just want to see something.
Here we go. I'm recommending it.
Darn it. Can you close that for a second? Can you right click on yes and open link in new tab? Awesome. Can you go there? All right. Now, and it's not, go back to the tab. Okay, so go back to the Facebook page. The reason why I was going through this is because this stuff changes all the frickin' time. And what I wanted to be able to do is, yes, you can send people to this reviews page, and that's the thing to do. And so what was happening with the person that asked the question was they couldn't find out where it was. And so the answer is it may actually not be on the left side navigation on your page. Like, I believe you can actually control these tabs and not
right.
always
You can customize these. So you'd have to go into your page settings then.
Yeah. So I believe always /reviews is always there. Whether or not it shows up is part of your page settings. Typically, automatically it'll show up, but not always the case, because in some cases, the page doesn't make sense to have reviews because it's not really a business or a location or something else like that. So you're not always going to have reviews there. So can you switch back to ours just to show people very quickly?
Sure, but before I do, I just have to point out how delicious this looks, and I'm totally getting some of this tonight. Okay. Anyway, side rant.
Awesome. Also, the reason why I was having Arthur right click on the reviews, you know, the button to click and all that kind of stuff, is because ideally what you want to be able to do, and you can do this with Google, doesn't look like you can do this with Facebook at the moment, is if you're giving a person a link to write a review, you want them to have the pop-up that shows now send a review. Right? And so you don't want to have to say, hey, here's a link to this page, and then scroll down and then look for leave review on, do you recommend this on the, that kind of thing just doesn't work. By the way, if you're doing that, if you're sending people to your website and you're sitting there saying, if you have to give instructions on what they need to do to use your website's failed. Okay, go to this page, scroll down halfway, click register now. That's a big user experience fail. I see it all the time. But for the reviews, that's why I was having him right click on it and do things like that, because sometimes you can actually find a way to hack the system. And I was hoping that that page that opened up would actually be that direct review link that you could send to people. Doesn't look like it's the case. The next step I would do is Google, you know, how to get an automated link to Facebook reviews, or how to get a direct link to leaving a Facebook review. My guess is that doesn't actually exist. So yeah, just have to send them to the reviews page. You can, by the way, with Google My Business, they've actually made it a lot better than it used to be. You used to go through a whole bunch of hoops to be able to get the link to the Google My Business, the Google review, get it to pop up and everything. Now, if you've claimed your Google My Business page, you can actually go into the management of it, and near the first page, it says, select your review link.
You the link
it
right
actually
there.
just gives you the review link. Obviously, Google it if you want the specifics. Or if we have a blog post associated with this particular episode, then we'll put it in there.
Just on that note, a fun little fact, Friday fun fact. So it used to be with that Google review, because you would send people a link and then it pops up and people put in their stars and their review and all that. It used to be there was a way to modify the URL so that it would auto-populate with 5 stars. So like it would show up on somebody's screen and like already have 5 stars, and all I have to do is hit submit. Google has since modified that so you can't hack that anymore. So people do need to actually pick how many stars they want. But I thought it was a fun little thing that
a little bit of a history lesson
existed for a little while.
Oh, well, these things are always getting closed as marketers figure them out and try to ruin it all. Listen, one of the things, actually, a little tip for every small business out there: if you send emails to customers, which most of us do, add a request for review in your signature line. So there was
email signature.
Yeah, there was one person that was in the Kill the Guru, or was in the Kill the Guru group, and this is like a year ago. I suggested he do this because we wanted to do some local SEO, and it was important to him. And he actually just started getting reviews, right? And it was a nice little thing, you know. If you have the time, if you've really liked our service, please leave your feedback for us publicly. And here's a link to the review. So add it to your email signature, especially if you don't have anything else other than say your name and address. Like separate your address stuff out, put it right underneath your name, and say, we would love to hear from you publicly. And one last thing around Google reviews. We've said it before. I'm going to say it again. If you are a small business, especially if you're a store, especially if you're kind of closed right now or hurting a little bit, you need to be going to your past contacts, your email lists, your people that have patronized you and you have some sort of connection with. Even post it generally in social. Better if you have a one-on-one. Even do phone calls and say, hey, how's it going? Connect with them first. But it would really help as we start to reopen if you left me a Google and Facebook review. Go for the ask for these reviews. People want to help, and they have the time right now. It's starting to people have less time now. Things are reopening in different places, and it's starting to be less of a thing. But like, do this, because this is like one of the biggest things for local SEO and for people finding you and for the health of your business to do. So I've said it before. It's worth saying again. I'm going to say it again and again. Like, have a game plan to actually solicit this stuff. I say, pick up the phone, connect with, your customers that can't be with you. Even if you're like, geez, that person, gave me $20 like 3 months ago, like you're a hair salon. It's just connect. And then at the end of that connection, say, listen, really looking forward to having you in, of course. Thanks very much for the feedback. Like, if you can ask some questions about, what can we do to really make this an awesome experience for you? And then also, if you could, we could really use a review. Do it, please, by all means. Now, we're going to keep going a little bit longer because we started a little bit later because, well, technical difficulties. The internet died for me.
One more question?
Yeah, let's do one more question.
All right, so we're going to get into a WordPress question here. So,
all right.
I have a question. In my WordPress tools, I'm wondering if Press This is a shortcut to the location where I post a blog.
Right. Okay. So the answer to that is no. If you want to post a blog, you go to the post section and you add a new blog post in your WordPress website. If your WordPress website has a blog, not all of them do. So the answer to that is Press This is what they call a bookmarklet. Like, it's actually something that you drag up to your bookmarks bar in your web browser. And it gets connected to your WordPress website. It's a really cool thing. And what happens is, if you go to like a different site, we'll just say we go to a news site, right? The Toronto Star. It's an article about something that you think, this is actually something that my audience would be interested in. you can press this bookmark bar. It will actually take that page. It will actually take anything that you've highlighted, and it will actually create a blog post for you. So, and link back to that page. So I go to the Toronto Star. I say, oh, this is about finances, or oh, this is about a new shampoo product, or oh, this is about whatever it happens to be. You know what? I have something to say about this, or this is a really good article that I think my audience would be interested in. Highlight the part that you think is important. You don't have to do that, but highlight some of it. Hit the press this thing. It will create a blog post for you and allow you to now edit it. So this is like a brilliant way to use curated content to create blog posts around. I would say, I mean, you can just like publish and bring like good curated content to your audience. That's one thing you could do. I would actually add your own spin or your like introduction to it and something, this is really good. And this is the part that I thought this is really important. And it's a way of both keeping top of mind, getting content in your blog, pushing that out, of course, to social media, and actually being able to do content marketing in a way that is a little bit easier and a little bit cheaper because it's faster typically. You're not writing the entire article. One thing I will say though on this is it's easier and cheaper, and what people have done is gone for quantity. Like, I'm just going to do all of this stuff. If you are just turning into another fire hose of data and not actual useful information, don't do it. If you are doing something where it's just like, oh, every now and then, this person is giving me something that I really should look at. Great, I'm going to use that person as the trusted resource. So as an example, you know, we love Gary Vaynerchuk. It's something we talk about all the time, but he has a weekly newsletter, and he actually has in the news section, which is typically on point for what I'm actually interested in. So it actually, to me, looks like it's valuable stuff instead of, you know, all the streams of information. That's just pure curated content. And people will find value in that. And so it's one way of doing this. So this is just a WordPress tool to do that, if you happen to have a WordPress site. That's it.
That's it.
That's it. Okay. Thank you very much for joining us. Join us in the Facebook group. Let us know if you need to be hooked up on that.
Wait, is this another mystery track?
This is another mystery track. So we're going to go, so he gave us 2. So we're going to go out with a second one.
Are you sharing your audio?
You are so good. There should be a way of, I know. Anyway, let's do it.
Oh, hello. Hello.
Kill the
This is so good. That was Kill the Guru episode number 5. Looking forward to continuing that next week. I believe next week we're going to have Cassandra coming back in. Or is Cassandra the week after that? At any rate, we're going to have people returning or starting next week. We've already got something lined up. I'm very excited about it. Remember to join us on Monday for the next COVID marketing episode. This track keeps going, doesn't it? I got to have a lot to talk about. This track is maybe, I don't know, is this more of an intro track or an outro track? What do you think?
Brent, I couldn't hear anything you just said.
You couldn't hear? I have to scream louder. Okay, you couldn't hear. Oh, here it goes again. This is so good. All right. Hold on. Does that bring it lower?
A little bit.
Lower now? Yeah? Okay, hold on. How's that?
Groovy.
Is that very groovy? And now can you hear me? And thank you very much for coming to Kill the Guru episode 5. And join us next week because we're going to have an entrepreneur on and we're going to dig into it. And join us on Monday as we continue with COVID marketing. Like, is this all very legible?
Yeah.
All right. This is a legible outro for today. Thank you so much for joining us. You guys are freaking awesome. I love these tracks. Thank you, Mr. David Blackmore. I don't know if I have feedback because I'm just listening to them now. I kind of like them. kind of like them. I love them. All right.
Dig it.
Hey, did we have anybody actually like? Holy cow! Les, yes, Sue, Patricia.
Sue is on fire today.
That's so awesome. Okay, Patricia, how about using those? Geez, we weren't paying attention to this. I have a small screen. I'm not paying attention to everybody in the chat. How about using those default reviews, those that ask how your experience was and how you just mark 1 to 5 stars? So I actually don't know what she's talking about, so I'm not going to answer the question.
Yeah, I read her question earlier and I was trying to interpret it, but I wasn't quite sure what she meant.
Okay, so when we have her on the show, because I'm sure we're going to have her on the show again, or we'll get her to ask the question in the Actual Killed the Guru Facebook group so we can actually dig into the specifics of it. Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
All right, cut it and take us out. Thank you very much, everybody.
Let's cut it.